Okay, we are recording. So, welcome everybody. This is the fourth round, I think, of the Breakwater Festival participants calls. And yeah, we are just making a short round of introductions and and maybe some details about the festival, or if we come to any questions about the festival, we'll discuss them. And I would just say, as a starter, let's start with a short round of introductions. And welcome everybody. And you can, who wants to go first is kind of free. So maybe who wants to start to introduce himself?
Not all at once. I can start. I hope the echo is not too hard on the recording.
Sound is good.
Okay. My name is Michael. I'm from Germany. As you hear from my accent, I try to improve. I'm 51 years old. I'm married, father of 2 children. Good question. Also introduction for the standard Peterson tour. Yes, it started in 2016, and I started watching YouTube and so on. No, just I guess the way or the path many of us followed. Watched some Peterson, then this weird bearded PVK in the US, and maybe especially the Dutchman thought it's the Dutchman, and it not really is. Watch Peterson, PVK, biblical series, got interested philosophical and religiously in this old book, and from there on, been a long way. My family and I have been at a hard place, different place, or difficult place from 16 to 19, and it's been the right time to encounter Peterson and this toughening up. So coming back to Germany in 2019, joined the Bridges of Meaning server and try to participate in the discussions, sometimes a little bit hard to follow from my perspective. I'm a practical engineering guy, so I have no degree in anything, theology, philosophy, whatever. I just don't. So a hard way of learning for me. Last August, I joined the first Landau experience. One of the hardcore guys in a tent and cold shower. Nice place, really.
I think everybody here today went to Landau as well, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was there too.
Yeah, I don't know. So much rain and everything. Yeah. What else? At Landau, I already said something happened which shouldn't happen. There's a Discord group, an online group, and we meet in real life, and we just got visitors from the US. Nice. And now it's the second time. More professional. I've seen the videos from the Netherlands, and Landau was so, I don't know, Woodstocky, whatever, a lot of rain and dirt. So now we get really professional, I guess. And I'm happy to join in just a few weeks. Yeah.
Great, thanks, Michael. Let's see if we really get that professional as you described. I'm not sure about that, but I think we will have a lot of fun. Who wants to go next?
Yeah, I can go next. Hello, I'm Frederick. I grew up in Brussels. I'm 33. I have a wife and 2 children. My story is more or less the same as everybody else, the boring story of stumbling on Peterson on the internet. Also, I think in 2016, the first time I did around that time, I was involved in kind of men's rights activists, manosphere stuff, like you think Andrew Tate, but back then. And and a video of Peterson was posted by them because he was taking on the woke stuff, the pronouns, and I thought it was badass at the time, but I didn't give it much thought. And 6 months later, I stumbled again on a video of him talking about Pinocchio and the symbolism found in the story, and I thought this just blew me away. Like I knew what he was saying was true, but I never heard it put into words like he did. And then I started going down the rabbit hole. Like I watched thousands of hours, I think, of Peterson at the time, and yeah. Later, it was also discovering Jonathan Pajot that made a big impact on me. Made me go back to Christianity, especially going to church, participating in the rituals. It was it made me understand that it was more than just propositions that you had to accept so that you wouldn't go to hell. And during that time also I discovered Paul van der Klee, who was a bit explaining what was going on with Peterson, offering a bit of context. And that's, I think, how I started. He said when he mentioned the Bridges of Meaning Festival. I went into it, and I met someone from the group in real life. I think 2 years ago, one of the only persons that was around in close to Brussels, living in Brussels. So that was a really enriching experience. Also, during it helped me a lot during the COVID because we couldn't go outside, meet people in real life, and the server was always available, and there were a lot of people in the chat rooms. It was really it helped a lot during that time. And of course, last year I went to the festival too, and just meeting people in real life, especially after the 3 years of lockdowns and all that. It was a breath of fresh air. It was only people interested in talking about high ideas, which I don't. There are not many people around me who are interested in that. They're more down to earth, talking about practical stuff. And if I start talking about theology or psychology, they'll just be like, whatever, I'm not interested. But that's not the case with the Bridges of Meaning. So that's it for me.
Great, thanks, Frederic. Manuel, or
Yeah.
how should I pronounce your name?
Manuel.
Manuel.
Yeah. I've been I went through the Peterson hole as well. So and then I ended up watching Van der Klee. I remember watching one video with a cell phone stand, and I don't know if it was Van der Klee himself or someone that Van der Klee took it from, but I saw Van der Klee using that same example. I think in one of the first videos that I watched. I was like, what's up with this crazy cell phone stand stuff? But it was obviously relating to the material aspect of it, and how it was objecting in some sense to what he was doing, right? Anyway, so then I ended up in the early days of the Discord, like I almost immediately joined, and I ended up basement dwelling there, basically hanging out there all the time, getting it rolling at the start, and then had a bunch of adventures, and then ended up on the Vervaeke Discord, Awakening from the Meaning Crisis, and did a bunch of meditation there, and that started building a foundation for me getting out of my depression, because that's basically why I engaged with all of this stuff. Like I had a really prolonged depression, and Carl Jung was I think I kind of got separate from Peterson, but then he also went on that wavelength. So it was all building together towards something. And then I ended up leaving the Vervaeke server like almost a year ago now. And been doing my own YouTube channel ever since. Oh, well, even when I was there, trying to get all of the ideas that I've been working on in this sphere packaged in such a way that it's communicable to other people, because that's the big issue, right? It's like, well, you got to talk about these things, and then, well, how do you do something with that, right? So I also went to the previous festival in Landau, I think, and yeah, rain, mud, lot of fun, but yeah, still it's always the same issue, right? Like, how do you get to something generative from all this talky stuff? That's where I'm putting my energy now, getting to translate it into something real. I started attending church, and with the eyes to see, right? Also from Peugeot, but also from this Vervaeke angle, you can make sense of your participation. You can aim it a little bit, and then there's obviously a tension, right? Because you don't know what you don't know. So when you go in there and you're like, oh, this is what I'm doing, you end up closing your eyes and your ears for other things, for a different experience, because you think you're getting what you're supposed to be getting. And yeah, like I'm kind of exploring that tension now. Like, how do you find the right participation, right? The right way of being, because I think a lot of us we got stuck, right? Not only propositionally, but also maybe more so lacking proper participation, and the recognition of the problems of the propositions allowed us to re-engage with the participatory part, all in our own ways, and I think that's where the value lies, from the coming together, the communing.
Pretty much so, yeah. I would second that. So since all of you have been to the festival last year, and before all of you participated more or less in this online stuff, first of all, how did you like the festival? And after this online phase, what effect had it on you to come to Landau, and did it change something for you?
Yeah, I'll go first. So for me, it was a really big deal going, because I was stuck in my home for like a long time, and I think it was the first significant thing that I did outside of home. So yeah, in that sense, that was a big experience for me. And then in the rain and nature in the tent, right? Like it's not halfway. Campfire, singing. So that was really generally a really positive experience, just having the participation with people, seeing how other people we're dealing with the same things, but from different angles, right? Like it's highlighting the plurality of the specific in some sense. It's like, and then it's interesting, all the countries, right? Was a lot of nationalities coming together, which also color the way that you're experiencing the meaning crisis problems, or like the faith crisis problems. I tried to keep in contact with people, but not that kind of film that didn't work through. And I think that was also lacking in some sense, like building on it. Like I didn't feel like there was a good follow up. Not that I would say that it was designed around having that, but that would have been nice. Because I think when we're doing things, we can either engage with them like a consumer, right, or as a participant. And when you participate in something, you want to integrate it in your life in some sense. Like that's at least where my focus lies, and so that's also kind of how I evaluate my participation in things, right? Like how are they fitting in the rest of my being? Like why am I doing this? Like what's the higher purpose that this is caught up in?
Okay, I try. The meeting was unexpected and a little bit weird because you know these guys online and you throw them maybe sometimes before and then live and in color, as we say in German, live und in Farbe. And it hasn't been planned so much. I think it's been the Bergman. We did everything wrong. No, there has been a backbone in everything, and important people have been there. And then there's as you said, there has been a lot of participation, but you cannot plan it. It's like I received that much holy water than more than in my whole life before, and since then, I guess it's been like a shower. So I guess it helped in many ways. The music was fine. I've heard something before, so the campfire singing was something old style, boring, stupid, whatever you say, but it's been a nice thing. We sang together and we have the textbook and everything nice. So there has been kind of backbone in, and I think mostly the people explored what's happening. Who is there? What kind of weirdos are there in real life? And then the connection grew stronger, I guess, on the server. And we have in March, 4 of us we took or 5 of us we took a road trip from my place in the Ruhr area to Rhineland and to Leipzig, and just 5 guys from Landau. All of us have been there. Danny, René, Tim, and Mr. McGee. What is his name?
Danny. Danny.
No, from Leipzig, the Irish guy.
Richard.
Richard. I want to say Roger. Unbelievable. When he hears this, he will, whatever, kill me. So connections have been built, and Landau, I guess most people didn't know what to expect. So something started there, and relationships developed. I think it's okay. It's been a good start, and especially so many things went, let's say, wrong, that we know, okay, we have to put it on another level, especially compared to the Netherlands, because you have a proper room, a roof, light, heating, everything. No rain inside like we had. So I guess it kind of I don't know in English. Generalprobe, general whatever. The first big rehearsal, general rehearsal. I guess for a really good meeting, and the roots started there. And we have a kind of we can say, okay, we the guys from the first moment, from the beginning of the movement. Yes, and I think that's enough. It's been a good start. Unbelievable good start. People all over Europe, or maybe even further, just met and discussed and produced something like community, real life community. So I'm fine with that.
Thanks, Michael. Frederic, what about you?
Yeah, for me, it was especially important to meet people in real life. Like I wasn't, except during the COVID period, I wasn't very active on the server. And after the festival, I was again not very active because I value especially the real life experiences. And unfortunately, there were not many people that were close to me geographically in Belgium, so that we could meet again easily after that. But other than that, the festival is a good way for me to meet a broader diversity of people, because thanks to Jonathan Pajot, I converted to Orthodoxy and I spend a lot of time with Orthodox Christians or Christians in general. But you meet people from all sorts of backgrounds at the festival, and I think it's important to keep engaging with people of other faith or that have a completely different way of seeing life. Otherwise, you can get closed off in your little club, and you don't know what's going on the outside anymore. So that was really interesting last year to meet people who was even a Buddhist. The festival, it was really interesting to hear all those perspectives. So I hope I can get more of that this year.
Yeah, and you kind of pointed to the next question. What are your expectations and hopes for Breakwater Festival in Mannheim? Who wants to go first?
Okay. Yeah, expectations. To see the good man, Mr. Benderkley, again. After now, what is it? Like 6 years of Paul Benderkley videos, I didn't watch them so much anymore. It's like I've watched hundreds of hours, really. And it's not even a third of his output, for sure. It's been nice. And reconnect to some. And Frederic, are you a mathematician? I'm not sure. Have you a mathematics background? I'm not sure. I talked to someone.
No, not at all. Like
Okay.
Really more linguistics and.
Okay, so whatever. Expectation, yeah, to see the troupe again from last year. Maybe some new guys and some new ideas, but mostly to improve and provide community, because we have a kind of, I don't like that much the online community. So it's really good to see face to face, have a discussion, eat together. Big mistake last year. We didn't eat together. We are human beings. That's really important. It has been like that. We had a breakfast. Yeah, really, I know. But we have to have lunch or dinner together. It's very important. We have to. That's what I expect this time. All of us 70 sit around eating together, not praying. I'm not sure for that, but eating together. It's important. It's a basically human experience. You have a community.
But we did like at least 1 or 2 meals we ate together, right?
Yeah, the breakfast. It's been.
No, we had the chili.
We had the chili.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a big table with a menu, and everybody was lining up, and everybody had a plate and chili and bread.
Yeah, but outside some kind of yeah. I remember.
It was beneath the tent, so it was.
And we even ate with the Germans, the local Germans. Like they got their plates. And,
Yes,
Michael, you have to cram in your head.
to recall correctly. Okay, then we ate together, but I wasn't satisfied. It didn't make a mark in my head, in my memory. So, okay.
And we went and we bought extra stuff for breakfast, and then we shared. Like all of that happened. Like,
Yeah,
I remember.
Who witnesses, Michael? What are you doing?
I'm not sure. I haven't been drunk, I guess. No, I haven't. Really
and we were getting coffee and having difficulties getting. Yeah, like
I prepared a lot of coffee. For
See,
sure.
there you go.
Yeah. I always have been in the kitchen cooking coffee. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's my expectation. More coffee. I don't know, something like that.
David, your anchor brother from the Exodus program, he is running the venue, so you can, with all your requests, you can go to him.
Yes, and I want to bring my own oven and want to prepare food there. I'm not sure. We talked about a little bit. We will see. Yeah. So mainly it's about community and meeting people. Ideas. I can read the next 15 hours on the Discord. Only all the things I haven't read the last weeks and months. So yeah, I think the real life event and meeting people again is the most important part.
So yeah, for me, like I also have the same problem. I got disinterested in Paul's stuff, even annoyed because I talked with him last year, and I said we need to have like a monthly meeting, and then find where we're taking the conversation, right? Like I wanted to apply structure, and that didn't happen. And like I don't feel that the quality has improved or things have progressed with him. So like that's my personal gripes with that. I'm mainly going because I'm going with a friend which I've been hanging around with. Adam, he's coming over from Ireland, and we're gonna go there together. So it's a good time to spend some time with him.
Oh, you just called
there
him.
he
Here
is.
There we are. Hello.
That's called summoned. He just summoned him.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Well, let him introduce himself then.
Well, I'm Adam. I'm a dude on the internet. Yeah, I'm coming from Ireland to the Breakwater Festival, and yeah, got into this kind of space from Jordan Peterson about 3-4 years ago now. So yeah, that's my quick introduction, so I don't break the flow of things.
Well, I was just saying that I mainly am going to go there to meet you, so to hang out. And,
It's true. Yeah.
And
I'm looking forward to that.
The rest that I want to do is I kind of want to test like ground proof, like where I'm at with my thinking, and whether that's resonating with people, whether it's helpful to them, like stuff like that, whether they can add to what I'm thinking. And like I hope also to hear things that people are doing, successes that they've had, because that for me is like I want to see the fruits, right? Like it's been long enough. like what is there to show for all of this? Because else it's all vanity, and I'm not a fan of vanity. Yeah, I'm gonna take my notebook. I'm gonna pay attention. I've been paying a lot of attention to how people say things and why they're saying it that way. So that's kind of how you can see the spirits that are moving. So I hope to acquire some taste of it, and maybe taste something new, right? That's I wanna have a new flavor added to the palette of what's possible, because then there's something worth exploring. Because I've been getting a little bit stuck myself, right? It's like where do I go? I started writing articles, so yeah, maybe we can share some and get some inspiration for that. And yeah, and I'd like to meet Andrea. Like we've had some nice talks online, so that would be cool.
Great, thanks, Manuel. So, Adam, we just made one round of introductions, and then since the three of the other guys have been to the festival last year, they talked about their experience last year, what it how it was for them, and what it changed for them in comparison to the online participation. And now we have a round of what are the hopes and expectations for the Breakwater Festival in Mannheim. And I think, Frederik, you still have to go, or did you?
Yeah,
say
more or less answered in the previous question. But yeah, otherwise, I would like to learn to articulate my thoughts better. The conversations help to do that. And like Manuel, I was also eager to go because a friend would come with me this year, but I'm not sure he's coming anymore. But I'm sure it's going to be a blast anyway. So, voilà.
Great. And Adam, what are your hopes and expectations for the festival?
You know, really, I mean, Manuel kind of said it. It's gonna be an opportunity for me and him to meet in real life. I've already met Paul Vanderklay when I was over in California in Sacramento, one of the speakers at the current Breakwater Festival. So, and it'd be interesting to see what the estuary protocol is like. You know, as I looked at the schedule, I'm like, this is, you know, it's there's stuff to do, there's stuff to participate in, and really it's just I'm going in with essentially no expectations and letting myself be sort of surprised from that. And in terms of kind of, you know, how I'm approaching it, it is just kind of exploratory, you know, well, what's going on here. So yeah, that's
Sounds good. Great,
say.
Great. Yeah, and Manuel, what you said you would like to know what people achieved and what yeah, to look what people do, what projects they are running. So we have on Sunday we have one session, right, where we have kind of an estuary panel, and this is of the German community. And like in Mannheim, we have a monthly estuary, so an in-person estuary where we really like, and it's like 8 to 10 people who meet every month. And then we also have the online German community, and the plan is really to talk about our experiences, like what we did, what kind of meetings we organized, and what we got out of it, and yeah, also compare like the in-person participation with the online thing. And I hope we all get something out of that. All right. Yeah, do you have any questions for anybody in the room? I mean, everybody really said some interesting things, or do you have questions about the festival? Whatever.
I have a question. What are you excited about?
For me? Well, I'm excited that everybody is coming, right? I mean, last year I just like I think it was January of last year, I just had this idea, okay, maybe try something in person, and I just made a flyer and kind of put the idea on a paper and sent it to Joey and said to him, do you mind if I use the name Bridges of Meaning for a festival? And he said, no, go forward. And that was basically the start, and everything else kind of came together. And then this person came and said, okay, I can make the flyer. This person came and said, like Cassidy said, I can help you organize it because I run comedy festivals. And yeah, but then Danny came and said, I can do the website, and this is how it developed. And so I'm excited that this is possible in this community, that you can have an idea and put it out there, and everybody throws something out, and we can do projects together. And if I mail Paul Vanderklay or Burn Power from Georgia, they come to Germany for a festival. This is what I'm excited about. So I think
Yeah,
a lot
that
of
is strange.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is really weird.
This was not supposed to happen. This wasn't planned, but yeah, here we are.
Are there gonna be more people this year?
A bit like last year we were, I think, around 40 people, or maybe like 30, 35, and now we will be maybe 40, 45. So a bit more. It could be more, and of course also like from the organizational and financial side, if we want to get this running in the upcoming years, would also be better to have some more people, but I think it will be enough to at least get to zero. Yeah. But I'm excited about it. I think it will be good.
Well, I'm gonna answer your question, Manuel. What I'm excited for, even though it wasn't directed to me, I'm gonna take that up because I'm actually excited for a couple of things. Because I'm going in kind of exploratory mode, but I've been to Germany before. I can speak a few. It's been a long time since I've spoken a few words of German, so there will be something for that for me. Maybe I don't know. But seeing Paul van der Klee, then I'm looking at the schedule. I'm like, oh, and then this was posted in chat a couple of days back. It was like Sacred Harp. What is that? And there was videos provided, and I was like, oh, okay. And it's one thing kind of watching the videos, but it's like, yeah, well, what's that like in person? So I'm very excited for the community aspect, and seeing people who I've spoken to online in person. So this year's been something for that, anyways. It's happened at least once this year for me, anyways. So.
Yeah, the Sacred Harp. I'm also excited about it because we we have a member of our estuary here in Mannheim. He used to organize these Sacred Harp singings, and he will lead the Sacred Harp singing at Saturday evening. And he during our last meetings, we started to sing some of those songs after the estuary. So we have like 2 hours of thinky talky as we all know it, and afterwards we chant these old Sacred Harp songs, and that's just wonderful because it's just a different thing.
Yeah, and that's where the idea came from. The person in the Germany estuary. Okay,
exactly.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
They
Sounds
also
like
do it
worship.
in Ireland. They also sing it in Ireland, right?
Well, all the videos I found were like some place down in Cork. So, yeah, apparently I didn't know that this.
Michael, your microphone is echoing.
I want to talk. That's why. We shouldn't go there. That all the videos come from Cork and from Ireland. It's just not. That's not correct. Not all Irish people are dancing, singing, are red-haired, and so on. That's not true. I know some they can't sing. So it will be. I guess it will be fun to sing a little bit. And rough, manly voices is no problem when you're out of tune a little bit. Excited, yeah, about the people again to see them, and we'll see how big this event will be. And I expect to see more defined Christian, I don't know, streams or organization. I'm not sure. Last year, my impression is, looking back, kind of C.S. Lewis, Mere Christianity. Many people are in the waiting room in some kind of exploring Christianity and going into the procedure, going through the motions. And now, I don't know, mostly people became Orthodox. I'm a traditional Catholic now. Really stubborn, go to church every week, to the monks, singing without organ, without any instruments, just the voices. It's not far from me. It's like like 12 kilometers, like what is it, 5 miles, 7 miles, like that. There's a monastery, and I'm there each week singing with them, sometimes in Latin. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
I don't understand anything. I attended the traditional Roman Latin Mass. It's been really weird. So in the dome in Paderborn, yes, in Paderborn, and really, okay, I don't understand anything. Everything is turnaround, and why are the symbols whatsoever? So that's what I'm expecting. Oh, I want to see, and I'm excited a little bit how the people developed in this year. What I hear and see online is, okay, devoted Christians, many of them, mostly Orthodox, some crazy Catholics now, and on the fridge, the Protestants, kind of like Dave. Yeah, so it will be fun, I guess.
We're gonna have to go to mass together then, Michael.
Are you
While we're there?
a good Irishman? You are
Yeah.
Catholic. Very nice.
Yeah.
We need, what I hear from you, Michael, is we need fresh atheists.
For
Hey, that's
for
how I
what?
got here.
That's one thing. 5 years ago, yes, agnostic whatsoever. And now I'm willing, and I'm in the discussions. Okay, we have the philosophical way of describe why there should be a god, or you follow Plato, and why the Greek gods are no good idea, and here are the ideas, and go into the cave and go out of the cave whatsoever. At the moment, I'm really not interested in those kinds of discussions. Really, it's okay. You don't believe? One personal thing. I'm 51. Last year, I became Catholic after many years of at least agnostic or not interested in any church things. So from my personal perspective, it's like the stubborn old German technician can be moved in the heart and in the head, even if you don't want to, because that happened from 16 to 19. I just got used somehow to build up together with my family a Catholic community abroad. So I'm not in such a hurry to talk to so many people. You don't believe, you're agnostic, whatever. Yeah, we can discuss some things about ethics, but the heart of things, at the moment where I'm standing now, is it's strong enough to move you, even if you don't want. Just stop talking, start listening a bit. Maybe I start meditating at this time. So you stop talking, just listening more, and then things just happen. So I'm stubborn, stupid, and thick-headed, but it moved me. So when the ears are open, yeah, maybe I can talk to atheists, but I'm not sure if it's useful. There are higher powers and better things which can happen, not me. Just leave me alone. I go to my monks, I sing with them. Maybe I'm an example. I'm not sure, but I don't. You atheist, just go to the job, talk to someone. There are a lot around you. So yeah, at the moment, I'm not interested in crucifying any atheist in Mannheim. No,
I'm talking of your older self.
Things will happen.
Yeah.
Really, when you start listening, things will happen. That's my experience. Even old, stubborn, and thick-headed. Really.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, like this is a problem, right? Like Paul called it on-ramping. I see it more as like a wave. So you have the wave of Christianity, which has been rolling for a long time, and then you have the wave of the conversational space that's happening in the sphere, and the problem with these waves is they build a culture, right? They build customs. They built ways of being, and the longer that they're going, the more away. Like it's like the Tower of Babel, right? Like it gets further and further from the ground, or from someone that's not in it. And so yeah, it's really hard to get into that. And so when I heard, do we need atheists, it's like you're gonna end up doing the discussion about, is determinism real, right? you're gonna start at that level, and you're gonna have to do the 20 conversations that everybody's been having for forever, and they're not fruitful. And like I agree with Michael. Like there's like just go do, open your eyes and your ears, then you obviously are not going to know what that means, because nobody does. So you gotta figure out that part first. Like I lately was thinking about ears to hear, because like the eyes to see is kind of obvious to me, right? And I think that's a masculine element, which is also related to the propositional aspect, right? It's like, oh, like I have insight in these things, but what are you hearing? Well, you hear a calling, right? You hear an alarm. That's fuzzy stuff. Like you can't really grasp it, but it forces your attention somewhere. And developing the sensitivity to respond to the calling, that's the thing that we need in society. That's the skill we need to develop.
Yeah, I was also thinking that it's frustrating when you talk to someone outside of this little corner of the internet, that you don't know where to start. When they ask you a question, there is no really common ground, so you have to go start from the beginning, and you think, I don't have the energy, I don't have the time to do that, I don't want to do that now. And it's not a problem that we have. So if we have many atheists and people who are not familiar with this corner, it would be a bit frustrating, a bit, I think. Yeah.
I was like, with my citation, I was referring to Aaron from the German community, who said at some point we need new atheists because it's getting boring, because everybody's agreeing with each other here at this point. And I was also referring to, I kind of want to have a door still open for new people to come in somehow.
Sure.
And I was not referring to, okay, let's I don't know, go to the local atheist club and start discussing with them. No, that's not what I was referring to. I was just referring to our older selves. Like, imagine like yourself 6 years ago arriving at this weird community. Like, how can we help this person who is somehow interested and open, but still has this, these questions?
Yeah, that's a good point. You have to go really slowly, and I know if it didn't go slow enough from the part of Peterson, of Pajot, even, because I was an atheist at the time when I was listening to them, I would have gotten scared away really easily.
So I actually have been doing that for the better part of years. Like I've been talking to the new people, and well, there's a couple problems, right? Like, so apart from the materialism and the propositionally stuckness and stuff like that, you also have this hermeneutics of suspicion, right? So they come in from a worldview, and they're not looking, well, they don't have ears to hear, right? They're looking for validation of their worldview, and that's the only way that they can engage, right? So you end up with someone, like you can see it on Twitter, right? It's like, show me the proof of God. It's like, yeah, no, like that's, you can't have that conversation. You just end up stuck in these patterns that go nowhere. Because even if you did, it wouldn't change anything. Right? Like one of the questions that I'd like to ask is like, what would you do if Jesus appeared for you in front of you? Right? Like how would that change your thinking? And like it wouldn't, because like if you're skeptical, you're going to be skeptical about it and you're going to question it.
There's an old video with Professor Lennox. What happens when I need proof? Okay, then the atheist guy said the heaven has to open and thunder and lightning has to happen and all of that. And Lennox answered, okay, I guess the next morning you would say I ate some bad cheese or something, and I had some delusions, and I wasn't good that day. So it just everything away. So it doesn't help. I think so. It will not help.
Yeah,
so
there's this
about reaching people. So I have 2 people as a project. My children. Force them to church? No, of course not. Explain to them why it's important for me? Yes. Include them in prayers when I do it? Yes. Okay. Now I'm really happy. They attending 1 week in Thésée. You know, the singing in Burgundy in France. Without pressure. I said, oh, you have to do something. But there are a couple of ways open, and they agreed, okay, Thésée is fine, and yeah, that's okay. And for the discussions with atheist guys, to be frank, I know nothing. There's a history and a tradition of 1,700 something years, and I'm new to it. I'm born into Christianity, into a Christian country. I'm deeply in my wool, but for the propositions, in comparison to professionals, I know nothing. Can I really discuss? I can speak about my personal experiences, and at the moment, I'm in a feeling of hybris. When I talk to someone and have to explain it, what happened and what is the big thing about attending church, I'm kind of not qualified. I have my experience. I'm stumbling through the history and my way, and yeah. At the moment, I think I'm not the right guy because I don't know enough. Best thing I can do is lead by example.
I think you don't need to think of yourself as an individual. Why don't you think of this community or this estuary spirit between us as something, and you are clearly contributing to it, and you have so much life experience, and I learn very much from you. So why don't you think in that way? Because we have our monthly estuary, and from time to time we get some new people there, and I mean, some people come once and never return, but almost nobody is left cold by it. So this style of conversation you don't find it at that many places, and I think it's changing. It can change people, and it takes time, of course.
Yeah, I'd say if you can get if the conversation can turn into something more of an exploratory mode. I mean, talking to atheists, it's been a while. I mean, I've talked to a couple in the meantime. It depends, but even fellow Catholics, I find they're kind of, sometimes they'll be and it's no fault of their own. We're all suffering under the.
You heard anything about the German Synod?
Well,
don't go there.
But no, I don't even mean that. I mean guys who are attending the extraordinary form, the traditional Latin Mass, and it's look, guys, I get it. You have your views and you're kind of, but you need to be able to explore stuff, not in a way to kind of break down everything, but just to be like, well, what if this is the case? And yeah, it's hard in some sense. But in another, I think that's kind of the feeling of kind of, in some sense, being in partial exile from your fellows even in the most cohesive society is still going to be there. And I think part of that is actually a reflection of the fact that, yeah, we're pilgrims. We're not actually where we're supposed to be. Our home is not in the world. You know, in the words of St. Paul, our home is in heaven. So yeah, that you're gonna have to feel like you're a stranger to your brother, because to be honest, like everyone's kind of turned around. And of course, it doesn't mean that you should purposely seek this sense of kind of, do I want to do this again? Because I've had that a couple of times, and you don't want to lean into it, for at least for my experience. So I mean, I think this this estuary space, depending on, because this is the first time I'm coming to it, but if it's anything reflective of what BOM was, you know, around the time when I was there, or when it was kind of active in 2020, 2021. Yeah, I think that's something that might actually be positive, or at least something that's worth looking at. So I think I'm excited. That's why I'm excited actually as well to come to the event. But yeah, that's what I'd say on it.
Yeah, what you talked about, the the people who can be a bit who want to defend their ideas. You find that also in the Orthodox Church, you cannot avoid it, and you kind of get used to it, and you know that it's going to happen, that people are going to have fights sometimes, like heated debates. But it's fine. Like, we know it's going to happen, and it's something that is not easily accepted outside of the Catholic Church, Orthodox Church, or this movement, because we think that we cannot have disagreements like that. We cannot talk about politics or religion. And I appreciate that in this community you find that too. What you find in the church, that people just let it be and that it can happen, instead of having all people on the political right or political left, and you have to think a certain way to be part of the group.
Well, you have to think in some way to be part of a group, right? Because else you can't commune.
Right.
The question is, what are the boundaries? And I think that's where we're making the mistake often, right? It's like we're setting inappropriate boundaries because they're meaningless, right? Like they don't affect the communion. And yeah, that's one of the things that I want people to get back at, is like what are the actual boundaries that matter, that do affect the communion? Like, because I think you can come together for many things, right? You can come together for, well, a local purpose, like going to the supermarket, right? Getting your groceries, and like you can work together there, right? Like, it's not like there's battlegrounds in the supermarket, right? So it works there, but that relationship is void of life, right? Or you might have a small talk with the I don't know, someone you meet there or whatever, but in general, like, that's really individualistic. And then if you want to have something more meaningful, right, you got to develop the relationship, right? And then the way that we've developed the relationship is in some sense that we've engaged with the same ideas, but also from different perspectives, right? Because like we're not assigning the same meaning to the ideas, and so where does it go wrong? Well, if we insist on our meaning, right? And like Adam said, if we have an exploratory conversation, instead of focusing on what these things mean, we can focus on what we can do with them, right? Like what they could mean. and having that attitude, I think, facilitates the communion, right? And then obviously that can be stronger because if you're bound in the same community, right? If you're all going towards the same place, something more intimate can happen. But I don't think we got that, and I don't think we should try for that either. So talking about intimacy, Matthias, are we gonna have like a massage training? Like, we're gonna have...
Shirtless
No, let's get that on
volleyball.
the schedule.
Shirtless volleyball.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, I'm in. Like, definitely.
Oh yes, big hairy beer bellies are jumping around. Yes, that's very intimate. Yeah, intimidating is the right word for it.
Intimidating to scare all the locals off.
Yes, for sure. I have some Frisian hardware in me, kind of, in my family. So, yeah. So it's not good when you let the Frisian shirtless running around
True, it's true.
these clubs or something. No, it's not good.
It could go south very quickly. Yeah.
Yes, especially in Mannheim. Yeah. At the moment, I'm not sure of so many things. You say we need a community and commune together, and boundaries are there, and some of them are not necessary. Yeah, maybe a lot of them are necessary. I'm still reading Chesterton, and the argument is Chesterton fans. Yes, there are rules which are important, and it's just cut them down because it's 2023. What? Like Lewis said, what has a day to do with it when it's the Screwtape Letters? It's, what is it? 1961. So what was that the date to do with the devil? I'm not so sure which boundaries are important, but I'm tending, because I'm getting older and more conservative, I guess. In the past, I've been so liberal. I'm so open-minded. My brain fell out every day. Unbelievable, crazy. I did so many stupid things. I'm not sure how conservative and how closed these groups have to be. Guided by the truth, by love, by the heart, yes, that's okay. And when that's in church, that's Jesus Christ, that's okay. But when there's a lie in, when the truth, it's not the most important, and the truth is not transmitted by love, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's okay. What kind of community you're building? At the moment, I think I'm in a difficult phase right now. I talk to my priest and whatsoever. So, yeah. That's why I'm not so talkative today, because I'm just I got the big club from my priest on my head. Like, no, take care. What are you doing? So, for all the guys who walked into Christianity, there's a nice word, spiritual bypassing. So any problem which is approaching you, or you have in the past, or you're fighting with depression or whatsoever, or other problems, there is the word of spiritual bypassing. So I transform me and everything, and all the problems or things which are showing up by going spiritual, and that's dangerous. That's a club I got this week on the head. So that's one thing why I'm excited to see how all the Christian ways are going. Is a kind of spiritual bypassing. Jump fully in the train of tradition and see, oh, my problems went away because I'm full in Christ, but I still have my package with me. Yeah. I'm not sure how we build the communion and what are the boundaries. Because what are we doing exactly? Is it the true way we really try to follow, or it's bypassing? I'm not sure. So maybe I'm not helpful this evening. I shouldn't join. It's at the moment I'm working hard on these things, spiritual and religious things, and yeah.
That's all good and fine, Michael. What you will be coming with your wife to Mannheim, right?
Yes, she agreed.
Is she also excited, or?
Absolutely not. She's a cradle Catholic, and she don't understand the hompa bompa we're doing with finding. She went in her childhood every day to church, every day, every morning before school or before work. She's from the countryside, and so Jesus Christ is your savior. Yes. You attend church. Yes. You go to confession. Yes. And communion. Yes, of course. Everything like, what are you crazy guy doing? I exploring the things. Yeah, no, you don't have to. So she barely speaks. It just, that's the way it is. So so this a little bit crazy to come with me, and she barely speaks English. So will be interesting. German is okay. Yeah, she will be there watching crazy German guys or Belgian, Dutch, and Irish guys. Will be fun, I guess. It will be fun.
Bear belly volleyball, don't forget.
Maybe we can make a final round of how you will be traveling to the festival. Like, Michael, how are you traveling?
My trusting Kia, 12 years old, already been my vessel for the road trip. I guess I will take that car. There will be one or two places still, but there's no one to pick up. Teddy will be there earlier, so yeah, by car.
Perfect.
Easiest way.
The others.
So yeah, Adam will be joining me through some exciting stuff he will tell. But yeah, Diego offered us a car ride in his car. He said he had 5 seats or something crazy. So we'll see how that goes. I hope it's not too crowded, but the distance is not that long, and it's really nice of him to offer a ride.
Yeah. So I'll be flying. So I'll be flying out from Dublin to Amsterdam, and then getting the train out to where Manuel is, and then we'll head off with Diego, and we'll go down there, and then I'll be returning. The day. The return flight's the day after the festival's done, so I've got a bit of time to get back home and get ready for work.
Sounds great. Frederic, how are you traveling?
For me, it's going to be a bit less easy than last year. Last year, my wife got to meet friends near the festival, and she would drop me off every day there. So that was easy. But this year, I'm going on my own, and I didn't have a car, so I got one from my mother-in-law. It's a very old car, and it advised me not to drive too fast, especially in Germany. And I'll just hit the road on my own to get there.
Nice.
Great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you, all of you, and yeah, see you in Mannheim. Good night, everybody.
See you there.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.